You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us at KPVM.TV, and we're also streaming on your Roku devices. It is Tuesday, July 1st. In our top story, the U.S. Senate passes President Trump's legislation, and now this act is on its way back to the House for final consideration. News 25 has the latest on what this means moving forward.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being evenly divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative. The bill as amended is passed.
The United States Senate has approved President Donald Trump's sweeping budget bill early Tuesday morning, advancing the One Big Beautiful Bill Act by a narrow 51-50 vote. Vice President J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote, sending this legislation to the House for final consideration ahead of Trump's stated July 4th deadline. The bill calls for $1.2 trillion in federal spending cuts over the next decade, including major changes to Medicaid and food assistance programs. On June 30th, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt spoke during a press briefing describing why lawmakers must pass this bill.
Meanwhile, under President Trump's leadership, Republicans are fighting tirelessly for everyday middle-class working Americans who re-elected this president. And we're carrying out a revolution of common sense, and all of that is packed into this One Big Beautiful Bill. It delivers the largest middle and working class tax cuts in U.S. history. It keeps America safe by funding the largest ever one-time investment in border security. It's enough to reverse the Biden border invasion. And every single Democrat is against that, against securing our border and deporting millions of criminal illegal aliens. The One Big Beautiful Bill also strengthens and protects Medicaid benefits, despite what Democrats are saying, for eligible American citizens who rely on it, like pregnant women, children, seniors, and people with disabilities, by eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse that threaten to destroy this program that was intended for the most vulnerable in our society. And every single Democrat in Congress is against rooting out that waste, fraud, and abuse and blocking the 1.4 million illegal aliens who are currently improperly receiving these benefits that should be going to American tax-paying citizens. The Democrats in Congress are more concerned with defending illegal aliens than they are hardworking Americans.
The bill also includes a $350 billion boost for border and national security operations. Funding would support expanding deportations, increased detention capacity, and continued construction on the southern border. Several amendments were added before the final passage, including changes affecting federal unemployment eligibility, state regulations of artificial intelligence, and the timeline for Medicaid verification requirements. The House is expected to take up this bill later this week. If approved, this bill will head to the president's desk for signature, marking a significant legislative signing ahead of the Independence Day holiday.
And it's that time when our News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers joins us with a military update that's critical to Southern Nevada.
Under the 47th U.S. Presidential Administration's direction, illegal entries and acts on our southern front have vastly dissipated since January 20th and now sit at an all-time record low. Now joining our broadcast this evening is U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Michael Rosé, the commander of the 109th Engineer Battalion under Joint Task Force Southern Border, and U.S. Border Patrol Agent Alexandre Alamand, offering their valuable insight into the nation's southern border operations currently underway along the Rio Grande River.
Our battalion took this mission over November 18th, 2024. We originally took over what was Task Force West out in the San Diego, El Centro, and Yuma sectors. We moved into our current AOR, which is Eagle Pass North, Eagle Pass South, and Carrizo Springs in March of this year.
U.S. soldiers are currently conducting operations in alliance with U.S. Border Patrol by enhancing detection and monitoring mechanisms.
One of the big challenges that we experienced on this mission is when we were out in California and Arizona, there's large swaths of public land, and so it was easy for us to maneuver, easy for us to get sites, to move around the area. When we came out to Texas, Texas is almost all private land.
We have a very precarious balance that we have to maintain with the landowners. On the one hand, we have our federal authority, which allows us under Title VIII to enter into these lands that are within 25 miles of the border to enforce immigration law. On the other hand, we have to respect the rights of people to be secure in their persons and places.
Under the auspices of U.S. Northern Command, Joint Task Force Southern Border aligns efforts to seal the territory and deter illegal activity at the crossroads.
So right now we have a little bit of a mixed approach. We work by, with, and through Border Patrol for a lot of our contact. They've been here before DOD came here, and they'll be here after us. But since we've been here, we've gotten several ranchers to open up their properties to get us on, to be the eyes on those properties for Border Patrol. And hopefully, as we build good relationships with those landowners, that message gets passed along to the other property owners that we don't have use agreements with right now.
Joint Task Force Southern Border is responsible for full-scale, agile, and all-domain operations, allowing for more proactivity and efficiency when it comes to the Department of Defense.
Really for us, we're in that phase right now of building trust with the current landowners, doing a good job, cutting off the traffic that's coming across and disrupting their properties. And once we get that trust built with them, getting that message across to all the community that, hey, we are a partner here, we're all here on the same team, and opening up those doors for future sites.
As always, on behalf of everyone here at KPVM Television, thank you to all of our past, present, and future service members for keeping us safe. Reporting from Las Vegas and throwing it back to our studios in Pahrump, I'm Maria Centers for News 25.
Even though July just began, Fall Festival tickets are already officially on sale. And News 25's Mikey Ruhan has everything you need to know about this exciting upcoming event.
The Fall Festival Carnival and Rodeo returns for the 4 unforgettable days of rides, food, fun, and family entertainment. September 25th through the 28th. This year's theme is Out of This World. All-day carnival passes are $35, cash only, no online sales. On sale now at the following locations: Pahrump Tourism, 400 Highway 160, Shadow Mountain Feed and Tack, 2031 West Bella Vista Avenue, and Valley Electric Association, 800 Highway 372. Carnival hours are Thursday, September 25th, 5 p.m. to midnight, Friday, September 26th, noon to midnight, Saturday, September 27th, noon to midnight, and Sunday, September 28th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Rodeo tickets are only $15, available at the same locations.
And don't grab that remote after this break. We're telling you about new star power on the Aces roster. All that and more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, Mikey Ruhan is stepping up to give us a triple-double point score on all the sports info we need right now in our sports report.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators back in action this evening as they welcome the Oklahoma City Comet. Vegas Golden Knights' Alex Pietrangelo is calling it quits after 17 seasons in the NHL. Pietrangelo released a statement along with VGK General Manager Kelly McCrimmon explaining why he decided to hang up the skates. Pietrangelo said his body can no longer take the stress of playing hockey. Viva Mitch Marner! The Golden Knights have acquired right-winger Mitch Marner in a trade that will send Nicholas Waugh to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The 28-year-old has signed an 8-year extension with an average annual value of $12 million. And it is July 1st today. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day because the New York Mets are obligated to pay him $1.19 million annually on this date due to a deferred contract agreement from 2000. The payment is part of a complex deal where the Mets agreed to defer his remaining salary plus interest, ensuring he receives payments until 2035. The Las Vegas Aces have traded for Dallas forward Nelissa Smith, the team announced Monday. Las Vegas is sending its 2027 first-round pick to the Wings in exchange for Smith, a number 2 overall pick in the 2022 WNBA draft. Smith has averaged 12 points at 7.5 rebounds over 4 seasons in the league. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Nice shot at that sports report, Mikey. Great job as usual. Turning back now to more local news. Are you in need of a hearing checkup or maybe even some hearing aids? Well, a local business named Hear Now has got you covered. News 25 spoke with the owner, Nancy, for more details about the Hear Now operations.
Well, we are Here Now, and we do everything with hearing. We do testing, hearing aids, hair protection. We can clean any hearing aids. We take most insurances. We offer great customer service. It's a great feeling to see that they can hear. Some hear for the first time, and it's incredible. They never heard a bird sing. They may not even heard certain voices, or they'd be places and they just nod. And so we change that. We have the power between the hearing aids and, of course, ourselves of being able to help them hear to their fullest potential. Hearing aids have come a long way, so it's really great. And we really felt that we could help change and add to the community out here. And when I say change, meaning we can change the lives of the patients that we help to be able to hear and be able to even be more social and maybe attend some of the great things that Pahrump offers out here. For people to be able to be at a restaurant, we can take out the background noise so that they can hear everybody right there at their table only, so they don't have to hear all that clanking or other voices. They have a way to be able to make that change themselves as they enter the restaurant. If you're not our patient, we can still help you out. You can bring your hearing aids in, and we'll be able to help you with your hearing aids, even if you're not a patient of ours. Our location is right on the corner of Basin and Highway 160. We're right in front of Home Depot. Our address is 41 North Highway 160, suite number 11. Our phone number is 775-253-8020. We also have a website you can reach us at, and that's hearnownv.com.
Well, Independence Day weekend is upon us, but before you head out of town on your next adventure this holiday weekend, take a few moments to make sure that your home is not going to be secretly racking up a large energy bill. A little prep can save you a lot of money and give you peace of mind while you're away.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Here are some vacation energy savers. Are you heading out of town? Take these simple steps to come home to a lower energy bill. TVs, lamps, coffee makers, and cell phone chargers consume energy even when they're not in use. Unplug them when you leave town. Remember to adjust your thermostat to vacation mode if no one will be in your home. Have a manual thermostat? Turn it down in winter or up in summer. Turn off all ceiling fans and lights. Worried about home security? Try using lights with timers. Contact Valley Electric Association for additional ways to save.
Health news you can use and much more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, more than 37 million people here in the U.S. unfortunately suffer from migraines. And if you're one of them like me, you know they can be caused by different factors like the weather. But how exactly does weather play a specific role?
Today's health report is brought to you by Desert View Hospital. When you or a loved one needs medical attention, Desert View Hospital is ready to help. We've been providing friendly and compassionate care to our neighbors since 2006, including emergency services available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit desertviewhospital.com to learn more. With limited exceptions, physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
The sudden change in barometric pressure tends to be one of the most crucial elements when it comes to weather. And how does that manifest? Anytime we go from temperatures like in the 50s or 60s all the way to the 80s within a 48, 72-hour window or vice versa, that in itself can induce migraines.
Dr. Estamalik is a headache and migraine specialist. He says weather in the winter and summer, along with sudden rain and storms, can also cause migraines. So what can people do to help prevent them? Dr. Estamalik says there's no one-size-fits-all solution. However, he typically recommends trying to identify any triggers and then seeing what can be eliminated or modified. For example, sometimes a person may need to change their diet and cut out certain foods. Or maybe they even need to get more sleep. It really just depends. And if lifestyle changes don't work, there is also medications and other treatment options available.
And then really you have also the abortive or the rescue therapies that are available. And migraine patients typically don't respond well to over-the-counters. So there are all the triptans that are available, they're prescribed meds. And now we have those new abortive monoclonal antibodies, different than the preventive ones. They work wonderful for patients. DHE is available. So again, really there are so many options now. We've seen a revolution of treatment since 2018 in terms of what's available for this patient population.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look at our first July Lerner and Rowe weather cam, and we have clouds rolling through the area and dust devils everywhere. There's also a dust storm warning and a thunderstorm warning for parts of Clark County. All that and more in weather next.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Good evening, Nevada. My name is Rory Rossell, coming to you from the Channel 25 Weather Studios. And taking a look at Nevada right now, up in northern Nevada, Fernley is seeing 95 degrees, Fallon is seeing 99, Carson City is at 89 degrees, Tonopah and Goldfield are both sitting at 90 degrees, Beatty's at 101, Amargosa is at 106, and Las Vegas is seeing all of the excitement right now at 104 with dust storms and rainy skies today, but Death Valley is sitting at 116, and here in the beautiful paradise of Pahrump, it's currently 101 degrees. It's currently the high. The wind was blowing south-southeast at 14 miles per hour today. Humidity 14%, and the sun rose this morning at 5:30 and is setting tonight at 8:05 p.m. The humidity raises up to 21%, and the wind continues to blow east-southeast at 11 miles per hour tonight. The low tonight is going to be 79 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast tomorrow. It is going to be pretty nice on Wednesday. 97 degrees, 99 on Thursday, up to 100 on Independence Day, otherwise known as the 4th of July, and then we go back down to 99 on Saturday, then all the way back up to 102 on Sunday, 103 on Monday, and 104 next Tuesday. So make sure to stay safe this weekend, especially with the heat and all the fireworks. Back to the desk, here's Unette.
Thanks so much, Rory. And things are looking booming for this upcoming 4th of July celebrations. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.